We are the boots on the ground. We are in the streets. It's a very different thing when you listen to Green Day or you listen to Crass. Whole different world there. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when you ask how it affects rock and roll or punk rock scene on the whole, the people at the top of the food chain don't really care what happens to the people on the bottom of the food chain. But the people on the bottom of the food chain are the ones that stick together. So somebody like Brian dies and the whole scene suffers. Everybody feels it. We're sitting here 20 years after he's gone, still talking about Brian. So it didn't just affect the punk rock scene. I'm sure, I'm like I said, I'm not from Amarillo. I have no connection to the music scene here except through Jamie Brock, wherever he's at. But I'm sure here it was devastating. You could tell it was devastating. There wouldn't be a movie made about him if it wasn't a devastating event. But the beautiful thing about it is, and that's what attracts us to being an outsider sometimes, what makes it cool to be an outsider is that the people that support you and love you no matter who you are, what you are, or what you do. They're always there for you. The people at the top of the food chain, they only love you and support you when you're at the top. But once you start going down, they don't want to know you. So the way Brian lived his life guaranteed him a legacy. He's guaranteed a legacy. He will always be remembered. He'll never be forgotten in Amarillo. And because he's not forgotten here, he won't be forgotten across the world in the punk scene.
To expand on that a little bit, it wasn't just the punk scene in this town that was affected, because the punk scene hung out, and yes, punk rock and skateboarding go hand in hand. But then there were the hippies, then there were gangsters, then there were, you name it, everybody in this town that was a little bit of an outsider was affected. It just wasn't just the punk rock scene, the rock and roll scene. It was everybody that was a little bit of an outsider. Because we all pretty much knew each other, and we all pretty much hung out.
One thing I wanted to tag on that, the thing that I got from the movie that I did not know beforehand was that Brian was an artist. I had no idea. I heard about him, you know, that punk rock kid from Amarillo that got killed. I had no idea he was an artist, that he was an active, doing great things artist. And those two things, art and music, it's your best shot at immortality. For the most part, unless you do something super heinous, art and music will get you remembered forever, you know? And I'll guarantee you, if Brian could have picked something to be remembered for, it probably would have been art. It probably would have been art. Yeah. And I'm sure every time you go by one of those signs, you think of him, like everybody else in the room. That's art.
What I want everyone to think about is, you know, how prolific Brian was and all the wonderful things that everyone has to say about him. Imagine what he would have done with his life and where he could be now.
I'm not very qualified to say this because I'm not from here. I know there's a lot of issue with the Dynamite Museum and the guy who sponsored a lot of it. And I'm not going to get into that because I know nothing about it and I have nothing to say about it. However, there's a bunch of beautiful public art created by beautiful people with artistic spirits around this town. And that is incredible. And that spirit should be multiplied across this country. It should be respected and it should be preserved. And one of my favorite parts about coming to Amarillo is driving around and going, there's a sign, there's a sign, there's a sign. That's unbelievable and I love it. And we have a lot of people doing that.
We have time for one more question.
All right, so sorry. Yeah, mic number 2. So, in response, this is sort of relating about me talking about acceptance culture. Since I was in first grade, I had a mohawk, big fan cut all the way. I cut it recently because something about a mohawk and another jacket doesn't scream hire me, and I need gas. But I did want to say that acceptance culture, like I said, I've dressed as a punk my whole life. And acceptance culture, I live down in Canyon, not quite Amarillo, is great. I'm friends with the preps, friends with punk, well, friends. I came here with 2 people from journalism, right? They write for the Canyon News. That's not something a punk would be associated with, and we're all good friends, and it's accepted so much better than it ever was. So I did want to end this on the note that, yeah, we have acceptance culture now, punk's not dead, that's all.
Yeah! Since that was a statement and not a question, the young lady that was back here, I honor you and we will take your question.
Yeah!
So we were trying to get to Marilyn Manson, and we had no luck because he's Marilyn Manson. And Elizabeth Martin, who's not here tonight, she was our hair and makeup artist, and she left our film, and she also does. She's a VIP tour manager for rock stars, and she left our film and she went on tour with Manson, and she. For tours, right? Just so everyone's clear here, because we haven't got to shit. None of this would be possible without our punk angel. So many things have happened and fallen into place that are bigger than me, they're bigger than Sheldon, bigger than Jamie, bigger than Cody. It wasn't because of us, and we knew that. So we approached all of this with a very humble spirit, knowing that this was something bigger than all of us, and there was a greater force guiding us. So many stories that we could share to you. We could be here till 8 in the morning, but telling you things that happened where you're just like, I can't believe that just happened. But one of them, since you asked, was the Marilyn Manson thing. So Liz, she left our film, and she goes on tour with Manson, and she says, hey, I just got done doing hair with these guys, and they were trying to get to you to get the rights to this speech for your film. And he was like, what? You know those guys? Yes, absolutely. So she connected us, and I talked to her, to Manson's manager, Tony Ciula, and we got the permission to use his likeness. So. Yeah, that's a speech from a Unity and Diversity conference. It was a Disinfo conference. And so he gave that speech. A lot of people held Manson, and people were even blaming him for Columbine and all that stuff. So so he was really happy that we were doing this story. And when he found out we were doing the story, he was actually, according to Liz, he was in tears. So.
Okay, so we're gonna wrap this up. Like I said, we have something special we're about to put on the screen here as soon as we leave. But I just want to thank Amarillo first and foremost for supporting the Dinnicky family, because without them, tonight's all about them, period.
Tonight's all about Brian.
Thank you. I have to be a producer for a second. If this film resonates with you and you love this film, we are trying to get this film out to the masses because there is a message behind this film, which we already stated is bigger than all of us. We would love for you to pre-order the film. With this premiere tonight, we have put the film on sale exclusively on iTunes. You can pre-order the film for $6.99. And we released today on iTunes exclusively a featurette, which we're about to show you live. So please pre-order the film. We love you. Thank you. And last, if you find me after this featurette and you show me on your phone that you've pre-ordered it, I have a poster autographed by everyone on the stage that I'm going to give away.
Once again, thank you guys so much, and man, this is heavy, and this has been surreal. So thank you. Please enjoy this. We will pick up any questions you guys have. We'll be out in the lobby. There's an after party at Leftwoods, I believe. So I know it's Tuesday night, but come on, this shit doesn't happen all the time. And CJ fucking Ramone, everybody. CJ fucking Ramone.